May the words of my mouth and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable in thine eyes, O Lord, our rock and our Redeemer.
Amen.
We don't always do the right thing when God enters directly into our lives, do we? Sarah, in today's Old Testament reading, when she realizes that she, an older woman, well past childbearing age, will be pregnant soon, she laughs in shock and surprise. And the people in the wilderness, while waiting for Moses to return, knowing that he was on God's mission, grow impatient and instead choose to worship a golden idol. They just can't wait. And David, though he walked with God more closely than any other king of Israel, committed adultery and murder. He was weak. And when Peter heard the voice of God tell him to listen to Jesus' teachings, his first instinct instead was to stop and make a tent, which is what he had always done. Yet there's hope for us as we read in the gospel reading today, when Jesus gives his disciples authority and power and clearly states to them what needs to be done. His disciples do go out and they do that work. They are alone. They've been stripped of everything except for what they need, which is to be dependent on God, bringing the good news that God's kingdom is for everyone and that everyone should have renewed hope. And they've been sent out to the people because the people were harassed and helpless. They were sick and tired. They were thirsty and hungry. And that sounds like us. I'm now going to read words from a sermon delivered by a black preacher in the spring of 1968 in Memphis, Tennessee, shortly before he was murdered. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome. And I believe it because somehow the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. We shall overcome because Carlyle is right. No lie can live forever. We shall overcome because William Cullen Bryant is right. Truth that has been crushed to the earth will rise again. And with this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. And with this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to speed up that day. In the words of the prophecy, every valley shall be exalted, every mountain and hill shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places straight. The glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This will be a great day. This will be a marvelous hour. And at that moment, figuratively speaking, the morning stars will sing together, and the sons of God will shout for joy. When we needed salvation, when we needed to be renewed, what did God do? He sent Jesus to be among us. When his people needed salvation, when his people needed to be renewed, what did Jesus do? He sent us out to be among them. So while we've been waiting for some other kind of signal, for things to go back to normal, our old normal, the message from God is that what we used to think of as normal meant that for some people it meant to be harassed. Our old normal meant for some people to be helpless. Our old normal meant for some to be tired and hungry and empty. And our old normal meant for some people to be hopeless. So that is not the normal we're going to go back to, right? Because Jesus has come into our lives, and he has given us a job to do, and he has given us the power and the authority to do it. So we're going to discard everything that keeps us from doing that job. We're going to discard fear and mistrust and ego so that we can depend on God alone to get this work done. And we will not wait any longer to begin to do the work, because it will take all of us, every single one of us. And it will take all of us and every single one of us the rest of our lives to seek out and be with those who are harassed and helpless, to exalt the lowly, to topple the mighty, to make the rough places plain, and to make the crooked places straight. It will take a long time, and we are late. So as the psalm says that we read today, we must fulfill our vows to the Lord in the presence of all the people and singing, "We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday." Amen.